Well, starting a company from a garage in Jaipur to becoming a multi-billion-dollar conglomerate to adorning a hat of the as a judge in the Shark Tank India, Amit Jain has come a long way. And today we are fortunate enough, while the festive season is going on, to have him exclusively on Business Today TV. Thank you, Amit, for joining us. Very well. Thank you so much for joining us, Amit. It's been a long journey, starting from a garage in Jaipur to becoming a multi-billion-dollar conglomerate. You have 4 to 5 companies under your hat, to a Shark Tank judge that we'll come on to a later part. But tell me, how has the journey been so far? You've tried, tested, you've seen your failures, but how does it feel to really have this much success and as well as seeing failures at the equivalent?
I think I'll say I'm grateful to God on providing me an opportunity to serve many and having a big impact. Journey has been full of failure, as you rightly said, but I would always treat failures as learnings. So fail हुए हैं but सीखे बहुत हैं. And I think that's the probably constant thing that has inspired me. It's not about years of experience. It's about how many experiences per year you take. कुछ लोग 5 साल में 15 साल का सीख जाते हैं, कुछ लोग 15 साल में 5 साल का सीख पाते हैं. तो getting yourself in the uncomfortable spot or zone where you have to stretch your learning abilities and you end up coming out as a much stronger, better person. I think that's what basically has inspired my journey. I'm a very hard working guy, I'm a very perseverant guy, very resilient. तो वो क्या एक स्पिरिट रही है हमेशा कि कुछ दिमाग दिया भगवान ने, एक दो हाथ दिए, कुछ बना लेंगे बड़ा. एंड दैट्स व्हाट हैज इंस्पायर्ड मी टू chug along all these failures so far. And I think there is some karma, right? If you do good to others, it comes back from in some other ways. I'm a firm believer of that. तो अच्छा गया है सब कुछ. आई थिंक काफ़ी दुआएं मिली हैं मेरे को इन दिस जर्नी प्रोबेबली. एंड आई थिंक फैमिली का सपोर्ट रहा है बहुत अच्छा. So that probably helped me sail through.
So, CarDekho Group has, definitely you have earned a good karma because you have given employment at a time when, startups were coming up and, they were booming. You employed a lot of people and fortunately, there were not many higher attrition that the startups are seeing today. I would like to ask you about the first, vertical of the business that you've been pivoting around for quite a lot of time now is the pre-owned car segment, the used car segment. What's new happening at CarDekho Group there?
So we basically now are into insurance and bank auctions, and we do almost 12,000 vehicles transactions a month. On the other side, in auctions, we are basically cutting into more asset light and trying to have lesser burn model there, in which we are basically consolidating the team into one zone from central location, trying to run auctions across India. I think that has worked very well for us so far, and I'm looking forward to scale that up.
Absolutely. We saw the recent numbers. We saw that the marketing and the advertisement expenditure that was zoomed about 100, 200, 130%, and the loss has also been reduced. What are you attributing that to? Moving to asset light model or cutting down on business expenditure. What's really working out?
Look, I think the pivot itself played a big role on, we did not pursue the retail model, which was burning a lot of money. I think that is probably the predominant factor. अब हम लोग कर रहे हैं एसेट लाइट जैसे क्लासिफाइड बिजनेस कर रहे हैं वे डीलर्स पे अस पर मंथ सब्सक्रिप्शन फॉर गेटिंग लीड्स ऑन देयर कार्ड्स. Very asset light, more media sales business, very high gross margin. So we have basically realized where the profit pools are and we are relentlessly pursuing them. And there's so much depth available that you can go so much deep into each of these.
Sure. And auto insurance and financing are two areas which has a lot of depth into. There's a lot of players already in the market. What new are you doing to get more of auto insurance and financing? Because we've seen your rupee model also, getting quick dispersals without any paperwork, faster money in the hands of people. What's differentiating you?
Look, I think Insurance Dekho will have a different mode. In Insurance Dekho, what we have been able to successfully do is generate a huge amount of trust across the country. We have got agents, 1 lakh agents across the country now who are using our platform. So technology at any solution we have built at CarDekho Group has been the core of everything. So practically in Insurance Dekho, we have created a simple platform where people come in on this side as agents and we have got technology to train them how to sell health, life, motor. We do all kind of insurances now. And on the other side, we have got 42 insurers with all their complex plans added into the platform. But to the agent, we are able to serve what is right for his consumer, basis his needs. So that technology layer kind of helps. और सेकंड आई थिंक इट हेल्प्स टू बिल्ड ट्रस्ट थ्रू हिसाब क्लियर है. इंडिया में बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट होता है कि हिसाब क्लियर है कि नहीं. So we have built an instant dispersal system that as soon as you work with me and you do insurance with me, the commissions are paid out instantly. And that बही खाता clear हो जाता है, तो I think that basically builds a lot of trust. Lastly, I think we have been able to enroll a lot of new to insurance agents who did not have this income stream, and that creates a lot of value because finally the guy feels I did not earn anything. Suddenly there is additional income getting created through this, and that has basically catapulted it. A lot of word of mouth happened. So acquiring agents has been a easier task for us given the fact that there's a lot of positive word of mouth. Our channel engagements are insanely awesome. Lastly, we have set up a 24 into 7 claim desk. So any agent can have a claim of his local guy who's he is insured. We have a full backup team helping to clear out that claim. And I think the trust that you build with such things with consumer, your agents, your insurance network, I think that has kind of helped us come this far.
Amit, how many agents do you have on board currently? And if you may also like to answer about the agents, and also, we are in the middle of a festive season. How much growth are you anticipating with all the four verticals? Can you give us a number there?
Look, insurance, Dekho, for example, we have 110,000 agents, and we are going to grow 100% this year on a very large base, right? So that's the plan on insurance, Dekho. We should end up doing around 4,000 crore of premium this year. On the financial services side, we are again looking at a 65% growth this year on a very large base again. We do right now at the current run rate, we do around 1.2 billion, that is 10,000 crore of disbursals from our platform. So, and we own 14% of market share there in used car financing. And the second best player will be 1/7 us. So we are by far the market leaders when it comes to financial place. Even in insurance eco, in B2B2C business, we are much ahead of competition. And I think that basically has been, the core of, build sustainably growing business. Insurance eco is near profitability. Financing business is already profitable. Our auto media business is again growing at 20% this year. Very high gross margin and 35% profit there also. So practically, I think we are in a very good zone right now. We also have another asset, College Dekho, which is gonna grow almost 80-90% this year again, and profitable again. And then we have another asset in Southeast Asia with the name Auto.com, and that is also growing 100% this year. So I think I would say overall at a group level, given the blended ratio of all, we should grow around 70% this year.
Average 70% growth. I mean, for a startup right now, where a lot of attrition is happening, I think is fantastic.
Profitably.
That's the profitability. Yes. So I'd like to take a quick answer on the loss. Are you planning to equally reduce the losses?
Yeah, we have already done that. In the current run rates, we are looking very green on the parent level. There are some areas we are investing in, like Southeast Asia, a bit on insurance, but rest all other things are already profitable. So we are looking at a green balance sheet on the parent level this year itself, and on the wholly owned subsidiary, if I include, we should be near about break even this year.
Nearly about. So after how many years did you get break even now?
No, we were actually profitable for good 7 years, and then we expanded into multiple verticals and invested in various areas. That's when we actually went into reds. So it has been not like we have been constantly into a. We know there are investments we make and they give returns later, and that's what we have done. Invested in the right areas. Now, like for example, we invested our money into BFSI sector, insurance, finance. Now 87% of our revenue comes from these segments. So had I not invested this kind of amount of capital here, it's about capital allocation finally. Are you able to identify right opportunities around the consumer you're working with? तो हमारी जो जर्नी है ऐसी है कि जैसे जो कंज्यूमर है उसको चेज करो. अब कंज्यूमर गाड़ी खरीदता है, सेम कंज्यूमर अब इंश्योरेंस कराता है, सेम कंज्यूमर फाइनेंस पे गाड़ी लेता है, हर साल इंश्योरेंस कराएगा, फिर 4 साल बाद गाड़ी बेचेगा. तो हमने इसके अराउंड ही धंधे बना दिए सारे. So what that means is that you chase your consumer, build one thing good around him, then build the second one, build the third one, keep on incrementally going deeper with your own consumer. And when we did insurance, we started with motor. We realized the same guy who's buying a car also takes a private health or a life insurance. So we started that also. In the financing business, we realized there are multiple banks we're doing. We still a lot of paperwork is involved. How about coming with a more convenient offering? So we launched Rupee, which is completely digital loans. So you can come, log in, and instantly we disburse a loan. So you can actually have a coffee at dealership, and you can take the car away, right? It's that instant. I think innovating on each side of through technology, how can technology play a big leverage on the services you have created while making it more convenient for consumer and trustworthy. These are the pillars on which Ginnar has been built.
Sure. Also, I'd like to ask you, what's your thought behind when you go in red? You mentioned that 7 years you were good in green, but when you started investing that money into capital, that's when the balance sheet showed red. Does Amit Jain get scared
No,
when
I
you
don't.
when you when you see red and for constant few amount of months or years you see red balance sheets
I
and
think it's
thinking what would happen with geopolitical situations also? Does it scare you? And how do you what is your mantra for getting out of that problems?
No, I think I have more than what I deserve, so I don't think I ever get scared. I personally think that we always ensure two, three things as fundamentals. That if required, we can make it green anytime we like.
Okay.
Right? That's the situation we are always in because there are multiple arms of business which are already profitable, and there are some arms that we are investing for future, which are bound to make losses initially, which is fine, and I think it's a well calculated move. So we do plan for how many years we'll fund how much to make this business what, and that's a careful planning we do every annual operating plan, and I don't call them losses, I call them investments.
Okay.
Because had I not invested in these areas, the company would not have come this far. So making prudent investments is our core competency. और हमारा ट्रैक रिकॉर्ड है कि हम एक धंधा उठाते हैं उसको बहुत बड़ा कर देते हैं, मार्केट लीडर बन जाते हैं, उसको प्रॉफिटेबली बना देते हैं. और ऐसे मल्टीपल टाइम हम बार बार कर रहे हैं. चाहे हमने न्यू कार में किया, चाहे हमने इंश्योरेंस में किया, चाहे हमने फाइनेंस में किया, चाहे हमने साउथ ईस्ट एशिया जाके सेम किया. तो वी हैव अ ट्रैक रिकॉर्ड ऑफ सक्सेस अराउंड दिस. By making prudent investments, we are able to grow company by a significant number, and that's what makes me proud, on how we have been able to manage this kind of, prudent investments along with sustained growth. तो और हमेशा एक रूल रखा है कि 3 साल का पैसा बैंक में होना चाहिए. तो कभी भी हमने ऐसे नहीं होने दिया कि we are running into a situation where we don't have that kind of cushion, because that gives you a lot of comfort.
And also, you have recently expanded into the Southeast Asia and Indonesia, Philippines. Uh, what are your global plans? The market is huge. Be it India, be it Australia, be it any market, car financing, car insurance, car buying will always be there. That growth will always be there. So how do you plan to expand and capture those markets where still the potential is still huge, just like Indian market?
We realized Indonesia, for example, is a market we entered 4 5 years back, and it's quite like India, unorganized. Per capita is twice of India. Population is almost 250 million. So practically, we found a large, country which can have that kind of a growth like India. So we entered that market 5 years back. Now we are the market leaders there. We do $500 million of financing in Indonesia. We are the largest new car player there with the brand Auto.com. And we then expanded into Philippines and Malaysia. So Southeast Asia is the first area we have entered. We may look to enter UAE this year, which we are evaluating, not yet confirmed, but that's something on the cards.
Also, Amit, great initiatives there, but how about you have great investors on board. काफी अच्छे अच्छे मतलब जो नाम के investors होते हैं, that you have them on board. Uh, of course, to expand you need more money, more capital, and there's a limit to you giving out your stake and getting more investors on board. Are there any IPO plans that you have planned for the company, and if yes, for which company?
So, firstly, I think we don't require any more capital raises in terms of investments because we are a profitable company at parent level and very well capitalized, and all subsidiaries also have raised enough money. So, I'm not looking at primary dilution. So, I think the profit accrual should support the investments that we need to make in the other areas, and if required, we can raise separately also. Having said that, the IPO plans, look, what we have decided is that we don't want to, come out as many other tech companies have come out. I would rather come out with a good profitability track record, 6 quarters of, sustained profits, growing profit pools. ऐसे नहीं आना चाहता कि मैं बोलूँ मेरा 1 रुपये का प्रॉफिट है और अब मैं 5 साल बाद 100 का करूँगा. तो बेटर है 20 पे और बोलो कि 100 करूँगा. Come in that. So basically, I think we'll time it accordingly. So my views will be IPO ready by next year. Having said that, it's a board discretion on when we'll file, but likely from a readiness perspective, I think we'll be ready.
We'll be ready. Perfect. So I'll move on to a different aspect. You have adorned the hat of a Shark Tank investor, and you are one of those investors or a judge, I should say, that people relate to. You are known to be on the ground. लोग आपसे connect कर पाते हैं. So what inspired you to to say yes to Shark Tank and be a judge there? And first tell me that story.
So basically, I realized that I'm having a sense of building businesses, having built multiple business within the CarDekho group. अलग अलग टाइप की बिजनेस बनाए हैं. कोई डायरेक्टली B2C है, कोई B2B2C है, तो एक धंधे की पकड़ है. And I was having a decent amount of impact with a lot of our company people actually becoming entrepreneurs, either within the group or outside. So what I realized was that there is, a positive, rub off. And whenever somebody, leaves a job at CarDekho Group and starts his own business, I feel proud.
That we saw, in fact, in the last
So
episode.
I feel proud of that. And many of the people have done successfully well, very successful in their own startups. And that's what brings me pride that, people, touched our group, they learned those skills. So I realized that, while sitting in this company, I can have an impact on as many as I have around here, as the people I interact directly with, which is very few. But when you go to a Shark Tank kind of a medium, you're actually through the, picture talking to millions of people out there who are watching the show and inspiring them. I think the kind of impact you can have is disproportionately high. And I thought, I should do my bit to give a big impact to the country. Entrepreneurship should become mainstream. मतलब हर घर में होना चाहिए कि माँ बाप खुश होने कि मेरा बेटा एंटरप्रेन्योर है. पहले जब मैं बड़ा हो रहा था तो फिर पापा बोलते थे कि अच्छी पढ़ाई करो, अच्छी जॉब लगेगी. अब माइंडसेट बदलेगा विद दिस काइंड ऑफ इनिशिएटिव्स. एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप इज बीइंग सेलिब्रेटेड. तो लोग बोलेंगे हाँ मेरा बेटा एंटरप्रेन्योर है, राइट. एंड आई थिंक दैट्स व्हाट आई थिंक विल हैव अ बिग इम्पैक्ट. लुक एट द काइंड ऑफ पीपल हु कम फ्रॉम व्हाट टाउन्स, टियर 3 टियर 4 टाउन से निकल के सक्सेसफुल एंटरप्रेन्योर्स आ रहे हैं, करोड़ों का धंधा बना रखा है. आई थिंक दिस इज़ द न्यू इंडिया एंड आई थिंक दिस इज़ व्हाट नीड्स टू हैपन इवन मोर. अगर आपको पूरी इंडिया की इकोनॉमी बढ़ानी है तो आपको माइक्रो एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप चाहिए. हर छोटे शहर में एक एंटरप्रेन्योर होना चाहिए जो धंधा बना रहा है वहाँ पर लोकल एम्प्लॉयमेंट जनरेट कर रहा है, तभी इंडिया आगे बढ़ेगा. तो मुझे
Correct. Also, as far as the investments in the season one go, Amit, how has it been? How are the companies that you have invested in performed? And give us a sense of your investments versus the performance of the company. How has that increased? How has Amit Jain added value to those companies?
So I think we have a very, very constant touch. All founders have my phone number directly. They can reach out. And we have set up a special team to help them in various areas. Be it legal, be it financing, be it marketing, be it technology. So सबके हम लोगों ने स्पॉक्स बना दिए अपनी टीम में. Who are helping each company in whatever dimension they seek help for. And founder has, a free access to every resource that we carry within the company. So that's one. Second is, I personally help in a lot of vision setting on how large you can become, what is the market that you should target. Strategy wise, I think I spend a lot of time with my own portfolio companies. And I think luckily for us, every company has performed really well. And each one of them has grown significantly since the time they pitched to us. Barring one or two, I think everybody else has, on an average doubled almost.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I think I'm very happy with the progress of each company that I have invested in at least. And I look forward to, a great business.
That niche hair, I remember. You there was a great fight between the sharks. So how's that company going?
So that has scaled significantly. Now they do almost 3 crores a month. So it's a 36 crore turnover now.
Okay.
Very profitable.
Okay.
So I personally think, each asset, each founder was a phenomenal founder that I finally ended up investing in. And each one had the hunger. So पहले बंदा फिर धंधा. So I think बंदे सही चुनोगे तो धंधा तो बन ही जाएगा.
बिल्कुल सही बात. And season 2 is right on our heads. What kind of entrepreneurs are you seeing coming up now? Of course, stage 1, the season 1, we saw great entrepreneurs with great ideas. But what's new here? What entrepreneurs are you looking forward to? And how's the experience been so far?
I think season 3 it is now. So season 3, I think look, finally the show is about the entrepreneur. We are just enablers. And the main hero is the person pitching on the show. I think I personally get a lot of inspiration when I meet all these, candidates across the country building such great businesses. And I think that's something that excites me personally. This year you'll see again the same thing, but in a new flavor. You'll get a lot of variety of businesses, coming over. And I think it's a great thing for people to also see, what kind of new ideas people are innovating with, because that inspires them also to become entrepreneurs. And if the business, if it does not get investment, I think that also gives wisdom to people watching on how they should think of, building their own business. From my perspective, I think this will be another power-packed season.
Okay.
And you'll see a lot more, refined entrepreneurs. हो क्या रहा है कि जो पिछले साल 2 शो देख चुके हैं, वो जब थर्ड में आ रहे हैं तो ऑलरेडी देख के आ रहे हैं, तो दे आर इवन मोर प्रिपेयर्ड. तो एवरी टाइम यू सी मोर रिफाइनिंग हैपनिंग ऑफ द पिक्चर्स, and they come a lot more prepared than the last time.
Amit, you've mentioned very categorically that tier 2 cities is where the new talent will come from. Tier 3, of course, will be more budding. But if somebody has to reach out to you, a tier two town boy or a girl, what ideas would you would want to come out, your entrepreneur should come out with, and what's the need of the hour for India?
Look, I think India needs more entrepreneurs very clearly. So वो तो clear है. If I can be of any help, I think I would be happy to help. You should definitely watch, all episodes on Shark Tank which are on your category. You'll learn a lot from there. What kind of questions we ask, what kind of analysis we do. I think that will help you a lot to refine your own business model and plan as an entrepreneur. If you were to seek help from us, there's we have launched Girnar Vision Fund. So you can mail us at investments@girnarsoft.com, and that's where there's a team that is going through all the ideas, which is checking the merit of the idea and basically choosing to invest in a few. So that's how it is. So
Can you
I'm
give me three, four ideas where you are interested in, and which I know technology is your favorite part for any, be it your cars, be it your home, you like technology around you. Three, four ideas that Amit Jain gets excited with.
Look, I think I get excited about solving consumer problems. Okay. So it's not about, it's more about how we can make it a better world. And if we can make a better world, I think that's what excites me more. Like when we went to financing, we thought, a used car loan takes around 10-12 days to do. Approval rate is 40%. Can we have an impact? So we basically ended up getting the days down to 2. And in our rupee, it's instant, which the platform we control. And the approval rate is now 75% because we were able to get an array of banks at the back. I think we basically, through technology, want to have a large impact. And that's what excites me. And the areas we have already entered are quite deep. Now, the areas that I want to enter are associated to what my consumer does. For example, you are a car owner. Now, how about building things around you that you will require in your ownership journey? That will excite me. Things like, let's say you are going on, you don't want to buy a car. Millennials are very different. They don't want to own assets for too long. Rather, they want to switch. They want to have more choices. So maybe thinking of a more like a subscription on cars may be a great idea from our perspective. So we are thinking on these lines. The areas that can have a direct benefit to the consumer and have an impact on his life, and that's how we think about it.
Also, Amit, two last questions before I let you go. We have seen the judges on Shark Tank. How has the chemistry been, both on and off the camera? Are you, cordial? We see funny banters happening, we see funny fights happening, but I know that's in good spirit. How's the chemistry been between the judges?
I think it's just amazing because off screen we are great friends. On screen, when you're seeing a great entrepreneur, you all want to invest in it. There are bound to be fights there, but off screen, if you ask me, I think we have a great chemistry between all of us.
Great chemistry. Also, last question, Amit. There are a lot of budding entrepreneurs who want to start their journey, who want to, do great, but are scared of two things. Probably, one is failure, and secondly is procrastination. कि होगा कि नहीं होगा, and क्या अगर मैं शुरू करूँगा तो fail हो गया तो पैसे चले जाएंगे मेरे, बाकी पैसे कहाँ से आएंगे? तो ये आपने भी देखा है अपने career. You have also seen it. So tell me your message to the viewers, to the budding entrepreneurs who want to do it but are scared.
आई थिंक देखो फेलियर होते नहीं कभी. आपका बिजनेस बंद भी हो जाए तो भी फेलियर नहीं होता क्योंकि आप कुछ सीख के निकलते हो और आपकी जो स्किल होती हैं फिर बाकी लोगों से बहुत आगे निकल जाती हैं. स्पेशली एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप में तो इतना ज़्यादा सीखना पड़ता है बिकॉज यू आर डूइंग एवरीथिंग. यू आर द HR, यू आर द एडमिन, यू आर द टेकी, यू आर द सेल्समैन, एवरीथिंग यू आर. तो इतनी मल्टी डायमेंशनल ग्रोथ मिल ही नहीं सकती. तो और जितना जीवन में जल्दी कर लोगे एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप उतना ही रिस्क कम है बिकॉज एज यू ग्रो इन अ करियर आपकी सैलरी बढ़ती जाएगी, आप लोन्स ले लोगे, होम लोन, कार लोन, जो भी, राइट. तो आपका रिस्क टेकिंग कैपेबिलिटी कम होता जाएगा. तो बेटर ये कि अर्ली इन द साइकिल आफ्टर 2-3 ईयर एक्सपीरियंस और डायरेक्टली ट्राई इट. आई मीन दिस विल गिव मेक यू अ बेटर पर्सन फॉर लाइफ. तो आने वाला जो जीवन है आप एक पर्सपेक्टिव से जी पाओगे जो बहुत डिफरेंट है और फेलियर्स को लर्निंग की तरह देखना चालू करना पड़ेगा. सेकेंडली आई थिंक लॉट ऑफ पीपल टॉक अबाउट बिग आइडियाज़ बट डोंट एग्जीक्यूट. आई थिंक एग्जीक्यूशन नीड्स स्ट्रैटेजी फॉर ब्रेकफास्ट. तो आप इतने आइडिया अपने रूम में बैठ के डिस्कस जो करते हो अगर एग्जीक्यूशन में लगोगे नहीं तो बनेंगे नहीं. तो उसमें भरोसा करना, अपने खुद पे भरोसा करना बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. मोस्ट ऑफ द पीपल डोंट हैव सेल्फ बिलीफ. रिस्क टेकिंग एबिलिटी कम होती है. तो आई थिंक दैट्स वेयर प्रोबेबली आई थिंक द यूथ नीड्स टू अंडरस्टैंड दैट हैविंग सेल्फ बिलीफ विल बी अ की पार्ट ऑफ योर ओन जर्नी. अगर आप हाफ हार्टेड खिलोगे यार मेरे को एंटरप्रेन्योर बनना है, मैं बन लेता हूँ, पर आइडिया पे बिलीव नहीं आ रहा, तो मत करो. तब करो जब दिल से आ रहा हो, मतलब कि हाँ इसमें कुछ फोड़ेंगे अंदर. आई थिंक ड्रीमिंग बिग योर सेल्फ एंड बिलीविंग इन दोज ड्रीम्स एवरी डे इज़ वेरी क्रिटिकल. हार्ड वर्क का कोई रिप्लेसमेंट नहीं है. So you can't build a big company or a great startup without working really hard. I have worked hard. There's no work-life balance. You'll have to compromise family life. But in the end, कहते हैं ना कि आग से निकल के सोना बनता है, तो आप सोना बन के निकलोगे फाइनली, बट आपको उस आग से निकलना तो पड़ेगा.
उस आग से निकलना पड़ा है. आई थिंक वो डायलॉग है ना, आग का दरिया है और डूब के जाना है. वेल, दैट वाज अमित जैन, candid as always, talking to Business Today TV exclusively on a Shark Tank journey on and how CarDekho is expanding by millions. And of course, Amit, I'd like to also ask you, you had this Dekho wala thing with you for a very long time now. अब क्या देखें और इसके अलावा अब कुछ इसका और कुछ नया आ रहा है देखने को जो देखो ग्रुप में आ सकता है?
देखिए, हम लोग कंज्यूमर के अराउंड हर 2 साल 3 साल में एक नया आइडिया बनाते ही हैं. अभी सेम फेज़ है, हमारे बाकी बिजनेस लाइंस बड़े हो गए हैं, company profitable है, we are looking at investments. As I said, one is definitely expanding our NBFC business. Just start के इस साल. So we'll be basically building a more convenient way of buying used cars, buying bikes, especially EVs. So that's a key area of focus. Then we are also looking at after sales. What we can do with the car ownership journey. तो उस पर क्या देखो आता है बताते हैं आपको. अभी it's under wraps and under
Wishing you all the best, Amit. Pleasure as always to speak to you. Well, that was Amit, and of course, giving out his peculiar details, and of course, his great message to the budding entrepreneurs कि मेहनत तो करनी पड़ेगी और कोई रास्ता नहीं है. Thank you, Amit, for joining us. Pleasure as always to speak to you. Thank you, Amit.
If you like the video, do like, comment, share and subscribe.